I've learned over the years in the stock market, I've been in this game for over 40 years. I've recognized that there's only really two ways that I can make big money in the stock market, and that is to find depressed stocks that for some reason are depressed. Right now it's interest rates and inflation and the semiconductor business being slowed down because EVs aren't being bought and refrigerators and PCs aren't being bought. So I want to look at those for moonshots. That's what I call them. Now, the other side of it is I've recognized over the years that big tech will give me anywhere from a 25 to 35% annualized return over the next 5 years. I expect Apple over the next 2.5 years to pay me about a 40% gain, Amazon 120, Google 60, Microsoft 57, and Meta 60. How do I know this? How do I project this? Well, I look at their past history. I know what they've done in the past. I'm knowledgeable about what they're working on, what they're doing in AI. And then I have access to what they project their earnings are going to be between now and 2027. And I know what their PE ratio is. So I just do the math and I figure out if they're right. And if they're telling me the right numbers, that's what the stock's going to sell for. It's really that simple. And all I have to do is then keep up with it on a daily basis and see if they change their numbers and then adjust accordingly. The next area that I divide my portfolio into is what I call big AI. This is stocks like NVIDIA, Micron, and SMCI. I expect NVIDIA over the next 2.5 years to give me about a 319% return, Micron about 174, and then SMCI about 98. And there's some others in there that you need to take a look at. And again, how do I do it? Well, I listen to their earnings calls, and they tell me what they project their earnings to be and their revenues to be over the past, and so I look at or over the future. I look at the past and I ask myself, well, how has their increase in earnings affected their price, related to their price over the past? And so I can then take the future numbers and use an algorithm that looks at both the revenues and the earnings and give me what their price is going to be. So that's how I come up with NVIDIA is going to give me a 319% return over the next 2 years. And I do that and show it on my cheat sheet and in my projections. I do it for 34 stocks. So that takes care of what are pretty sure bets. Now, from that point on, where the big money is going to be made is only in two areas, and that is depressed stocks, stocks that for no reason of their own are depressed. And I like to use the example of McDonald's during the pandemic, or American Express during the pandemic, or Exxon Oil. Due to nothing that they've done within the operation of their company, their stock price got depressed because nobody was going to McDonald's and nobody was driving their cars. And so the stock prices got depressed. Well, that is constantly happening. We know the EV market is slow. We know that the PC market is slow. Well, if they're slow, who is that affecting? Well, that's affecting the people who made the semiconductors that aren't being bought right now. Are they going to come back? Yeah, they're going to come back after Jerome gets our interest rates and our inflation under control. We as consumers will go back and buy those products. So I then take and dig into it and say, what are they projecting their earnings to be, these depressed stocks, and how can I use past history when they weren't depressed to determine what their price is going to be when that depression comes off? And so I'm looking at stocks like AEHR, and I'm expecting over the next 2.5 years to have a 358% return. I break it all down on this sheet as to each year by year what their earnings are, and then based on the algorithm I've built, what does that translate into the price they're going to be? And then there's other stocks like Skywater Foundries. This is a U.S. foundry, and it hasn't done well because, again, for the same reasons, but it has strong defense contracts, and I expect 195% return. Now, UCTT, this is a cleaning products that they use to clean semiconductors. And again, the semiconductor business is depressed. So based on the earnings that they tell me they're going to have and the revenue they're going to have over the next 3 years, I believe UCTT will give me a 354% return over that period of time. So that's how I go about it. And then there's one I've talked about over the last couple of weeks is NVTS. This is a company that makes a substitute for silicone. It's called gallium nitrate, and what it is it's a surface that we put our chips on that doesn't generate as much heat and thus doesn't generate the need for as much energy, and it's a leader in its field. And based on the supercomputers that NVIDIA is making, I'm of the belief, and they're of the belief, and I've listened to their earnings call, and they're getting a lot of nods from people like NVIDIA that says, can you bring the temperature down so that we can increase the efficiency of our new super chips? And I see some tremendous growth. I see, as I said in yesterday's video, about 2,741% growth over the next 2.5 years. And again, then there's this something else that I need to look into. We're right now in negotiations with China relative to rare earth elements, and this gallium is a rare earth element. So I need to go find the companies that are going to mine this gallium. And then I got to thinking, well, that comes back to Twist. Well, Twist is a company that makes artificial or synthetic DNA. So if they can get the DNA of this gallium and produce that rather than mining it in China, and this, if in fact it is the replacement for silicone in advanced computing, well, I need to look at that as well. So then there's these stocks that are just changing the way the world is constructed. And that's Symbotics, SYM. They're revamping Walmart and Target's warehouses to robotics, and those robotics are driven by AI, and they then update the systems that run the robots, and so they not only convert Walmart's distribution centers and Targets and many others, but they also then sell them and the updated software that give these robots the ability to move through these warehouses at 20 miles an hour. I project that over the next 2.5 years, SYM will give me about a 377% return. And then I've talked to you about SoundHound, and I just heard that Google is doing some work to, as they said, this revolutionary idea that they're going to take their Bard and they're going to make it voice interactive. Well, that's exactly what SoundHound does, and that's what I've been telling you for the last 3 weeks, why you need to get into SoundHound, because SoundHound's been doing this for 20 years, and right now most of their business is in that box you talk to when you go through the drive-in at your fast food restaurants, and then where they're putting it in new cars. And then they're working with NVIDIA with the Nano so that they'll put all the data you need about investing in stocks in a device the size of a pack of cigarettes that you'll put in your back pocket, and then you'll put on some glasses so that you can read the charts on your trading views chart, and you can have a conversation with the best minds, the most knowledge that's available in investing right there at your computer. That's that's what SoundHound's going to do, and that's what Google's going to try to duplicate. Now, is there a possibility or a probability that Google might go and buy SoundHound? I think there's a pretty good chance, but nonetheless, I project over the next 2.5 years, I'll have about a 268% return on SoundHound. And then there's a little group of data centers sitting up in North Dakota, Applied Digital, APLD, that has access, and it's been said that they have some of these new supercomputers that are made by NVIDIA that weigh, 70 pounds, have 3,500 parts in it, and has the compute power of a multiple of 1,000 of the current chips. And this is not a little chip like this. As I say, it weighs 70 pounds, has 3,500 parts, and only 8 of them come from Taiwan Semiconductor. So this is a company, Applied Digital, who is and they're using wind turbines to generate their power, that has some of these, has the infinity bands that they weren't able to get about 8 months ago. And so I project on Applied Digital over the next 2.5 years, I'll make about 722%. So that's how I approach it. I put it on this sheet. It's it's tied to a Excel spreadsheet that I do, and I go in and change those numbers of projected earnings for every company every quarter when they come out with new projections. So it changes as everything changes in the market. So it gives me the ability to say, well, now is the time to buy based on past history plus current projections in the future. I had someone who come on a call that or on a video who pushed in my face that Qualcomm had hit a new high of 184, and about 2 weeks ago I did a video that said don't buy Qualcomm, and he said, well, I guess you were wrong on that. Well, okay, let's you and I talk about that. Qualcomm is projecting in 2024 that their earnings will grow by 17%. That for 2025, they say they'll grow by 13%. And for 2026, they say they'll grow by 9%. If I'm not mistaken, those are lesser numbers each year. So is that a growing company, or is that a dying company? Again, then go look at their revenues. If their revenues are not growing to keep up with inflation, that is a dead company. We've talked about that. We've talked about that with Procter & Gamble and several other major companies, that their growth rate, their revenue is not keeping up with inflation. Well, if your earnings don't keep up with inflation, guess what? Your house is going to be repossessed, your car is going to be repossessed, and you're going to be living on the street. Well, that's the same thing that happens to corporations. Stop listening to all this garbage that people throws out, and just go look at their earnings. Are they going up or are they going down? Look at their revenues. Are they keeping up with inflation or aren't they? If they aren't, they're dying. This is not that difficult. Really, all you have to do is equate a major business to your household expenses. If your earnings are not keeping up with inflation, you're dying. Okay? That may be your salvation. You can't keep up, so you just die. Well, that's what happens to Polaroid, to Sears Roebuck, to any number of companies. Kodak, their revenues did not keep up with inflation, and the world passed them by. Go find a Kmart, okay? I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I believe there's only 2 ways to make big money in the stock market, and that's to identify depressed stocks that for no reason under their control, interest rates and inflation, and thus you're not buying semiconductor products, are depressed. The others are those that are ahead of change. There's plenty of them. Look at RXRX. It's in the drug discovery element. It is growing. Look at Twist. It's in synthetic biology. If you don't know what those things are, go into the description and find the books that I read so that I can stay ahead of this, so I can identify the moonshots. I've got some stocks here. What is it? 2,741%, based on their projected earnings, based on the fact that they've got something that will keep the heat off of Jensen's new chips. You get that together, you got a winner. That's the only two ways you can make money in the stock market. Okay, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I run a website called Best of Us Investors. I share all this information. And I change it on a daily basis. I mean, this sheet that I do on projection of prices, it changed today because some of the companies changed their projections of earnings. That keeps me 2.5 years ahead of the game. Talk to you again tomorrow.